All right, good morning, freshmen. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you guys are getting ready for your second week of this online learning adventure. I figured I would record this video to go over some things for this week. I'm sure you guys have all missed my face and my voice, or maybe you haven't. Um, but I just wanted to go over a couple of key things on the Schoology, kind of some things from here on out. This isn't really a lecture. I'll be adding one of those this week as well, I believe on Wednesday. Um, it's not so much a lecture, it's more of kind of an informational thing. So what I'm going to do is on Mondays post these kind of check-in videos to kind of give you a preview of what to expect for the week. It just gives you some updates too. And this one will be a little bit longer because there's just more to share um, about kind of how we're going to proceed from here on out. We're going to probably be doing this online learning thing a lot longer than at first expected. So you kind of have to just accept it and see if we can learn together and make the most of it. Um, so a few things. Basically, what I'm going to do is walk through the Schoology page. You guys should be pretty familiar with it by now. You've done a few assignments already. But I'm just going to kind of pick out some things that are really important and explain some things I think need explaining. This again, like a check-in video. So going here to the Schoology account here for period one. As you know, that red folder is a remote education folder. It's the only one you see on your screen, so that's really what you're going to be always clicking on. When the assignments have their due dates, they'll appear here. So period one has I put the things in period one first, and I send them over to the other section, so you guys won't see a lot of these right now. But if you go to period one, they have a lot of these assignments coming up. Not all of them are fully fleshed out. I'm still kind of tweaking some of them, but they're there, okay, and when they're due at 8 a.m. the next day. So if you go to the remote education folder, you see that there is the 3 weeks up until Easter break. And then, because we're probably gonna have to do this again after Easter break as well, it looks like. Um, and then there's this prayer intentions discussion, and then there's this prayer resources folder. And I want to go through these. One quick thing before I do that. So far, guys, not great turning in assignments on time. There's quite a few of you that need to kind of get with the program. We've adjusted the deadline now to be 8 a.m. So my assignments now reflect that. So again, you can work as late as you need to into the early morning, but you got to start getting things done on time. There's quite a few that I'm sending emails to parents and to you about just not getting stuff done. I've only heard from a few of you, so that needs to kind of change. Okay, so if there is an issue, just let me know. Email me, right? If you're sick or you're having real bad internet issues, like let me know. I can grant extensions. I'll be pretty generous with that. I mean, don't abuse that privilege, but I'll be generous. But you got to let me know. You got to let me know. So guys who have kind of just not really turning much work, you got to reach out to me, explain what's going on so that I can help you. Remember, I'm here to help. So that's the first little thing. But first, before we get into the assignments for this week, I want to talk about this folder here at the bottom, this prayer resources folder. It's purple because it's Lent. One thing I want to stress during these times apart when you guys are at home and I'm here, we're kind of all in our own little world, is to pray, right? I'm not just saying that because I'm the theology teacher. I'm not just saying that because it's Catholic school. This is a great time to pray. It's Lent, first of all, so it's time for increased prayer as we grow closer to Christ. But it's also, think about it, it's the time for more quiet, right? We're home. We're not doing our normal routines. We have this kind of more set free time. Yeah, you have your schoolwork, but once you're done with that, you have these kind of hours that are unstructured. There's no sports practice. There's no sports games to watch. You might get sick of your video games after a while. So it gives us this opportunity to pray a little bit more. And so I want to help you with that time, not just saying go pray and that's it. I wanted to put together some resources. So if you go in this folder here, this is right under, you go to remote education, then you go to this prayer resources folder at the bottom. And honestly, I'll probably move it to the top of the remote education folder so it's easier to see, so it's not buried at the bottom. You see here that there's different resources, what campus ministry is offering here. There's a Lectio Divina sheet that I passed out to you guys in class. There's an examine, sacred space. It's like an online examine, which is great to do every day at the end of the day. There's Stations of the Cross, what they are in this PowerPoint, and then also these videos going through the Station of the Cross. I'm going to add to this. I want to add more things. I also want to add church resources because a lot of you guys can't go to mass, right? There's no, so a lot of churches are advertising or broadcasting their masses during the week and on Sunday. So I want to make sure that's available to you. So I'll put some of those resources in here as well for you and your family. Feel free to share these things with your family. And this is in addition to spending time with the scripture, spending time maybe praying the rosary, praying your family prayers, pray as a family, right? It's not just, okay, these things to do like an assignment. It's these opportunities for us to spend time with God, spend time with Christ in the quiet, in our hearts. Take out your Bibles, take out um, your rosaries, take out your Lectio Divina cards, take out the exam, and take out these different things that'll help you get closer to Christ. Okay, so take advantage of this time. That's what basically my point right now is, just to take advantage of this time. So we go back to the remote education folder. Please, I'll move this to the top, but that prayer resource is really important that we try to use some of these at least once a day, if not more than that. Again, in addition to our typical Ignatian prayers and our Father, the Hail Mary, and so on. So going back up here, a couple other things that I put up here. I put this prayer intentions discussion board on this note of prayer. So what I want you guys to do to take advantage of this is to post your prayer intentions here. This is not an assignment. I'm not going to be grading this, but basically I wanted there to be a space that's a kind of a running list of our prayer intentions. Not just, okay, it's assignment, do it and get it done. I mean, really think of some things that are on our heart. It's really important that during this time that we're apart, that we're praying for each other, that we're building each other up, that we're connected through prayer and through charity. So what I would suggest, every time you come to this folder, say you're checking out a prayer thing, okay, I'm going to check out what our assignment is. I'm going to go to week 2 and check out what the assignment is. I'm going to go down here to the prayer resources, check it out. I suggest every time you come, go to the prayer intentions thing, either add an intention, please do, because I want to pray for you guys. I want you guys to pray for me. I already added an intention to this one. I want you guys to pray for each other, pray for each other's families and the community and our nation, our world during this very troubled time because of the coronavirus and this kind of uncertainty and anxiety. Put your intention here. Really think about what's going on in your own life, your family's life, your brother's life. Put the post here and then pray for someone as well. So if you see 3 people posted, pray for one of those people. When you go to your morning prayer, your afternoon prayer, your evening prayer, pray that special intention. That way it's not just, okay, here's a list of things. It's actually, we're using it. We're actually building our relationship even though we're apart. So please, every time you come onto this folder, come to this prayer intentions, check it out, see if anyone's posted, and add something yourself. If there's something that's been on your heart, something you're going through, or something that's on your mind or your heart, put it on this discussion board, and I'll be sure to check it out, and I hope others will check it out as well. Okay. One last thing before we go to the assignments. I put the online Bible here. So if you click this link, it's kind of cool. It goes right to the online Bible here. It's the translation that we use in class, the New American Bible Revised Edition, the Neighbor Edition. And so it's cool. So you see here, it's literally got the book name and then it's got all the chapters. So it's kind of cool. So you have Genesis intro and then all the way to 50, Exodus intro, all the way to chapter 40, Leviticus, which we're in now, Numbers, Deuteronomy. So there will be assignments, especially next week, where you have to read portions of these books. Again, we can't read obviously the whole Bible, but we've kind of gotten away. I'm kind of focusing on PowerPoints and the real storybook. These are online so far, just because it's a little easier at first. But we are, as we go further, as we get into Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, we are going to be reading snippets of the Bible stories like we did in class. And so you just come here. So if there's a Bible assignment that you're working on, say, okay, read Deuteronomy chapter 3. Well, you just come here to Deuteronomy, click on 3, and then boom, you have the chapter 3 right here, and you can start reading it and take notes in your notebook. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was there. I know a lot of you have your own Bibles. That's great. So please use those. I'd rather you using the hard copy, even if it's Spanish. But if you need a Bible, because again, this is a Bible class, the Bible is here. So it's very easy for you to use. You literally just click on that link and it's right on, remember, it's right in this remote education folder, right at the top of your online Bible. So anytime you need the Bible, if you're going to be praying with the Bible, doing it for class, just want to read a little bit to grow in your faith, go here, online Bible Neighbor Edition, and you can find everything you need. Okay, so that's the Bible. Okay, let's go into these folders quickly, and then I'll wrap up the video. So last week, your week 1 assignments were here. Some of you guys did a good job getting them done. I've graded all those assignments. I put, except for the summative assessment from Friday, I need to do that this week. But I put comments and scores on a lot of these. I want to make sure you guys are reading the comments I give you. Make sure you guys are continuing the learning. So it's not just, okay, complete the assignment and move on. I want to make sure that there's actual learning going on and kind of conversation about these things. So please take a look at your old assignments, see what you've been getting on them. So kind of see, If it's been content related, you're not getting concepts, we can talk about that. Or maybe it's you're not putting in enough effort. A lot of you guys, some of you guys are not putting in full effort on things. I can tell that you guys are kind of skimming through the real storybook, skimming through the answers, skimming through the, just to get it done. And it's not the best work. And I know you guys can do better work than that. So make sure we're spending time. Remember, this isn't a race. I know you have a lot of work for all your classes, but it's not a race. Okay, so make sure you're taking your time. So go back, look at your old assignments. Remember, we're moving on to a new mini unit this week, which is the Wandering Years, which is the book of Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, the last 3 books of the Pentateuch. Remember, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. These last 3 we're focusing on this week. So Exodus has ended, right? Exodus ends there. The Israelites are at Mount Sinai. They've made this covenant with God. They spend a year there. God has this great covenant meal with Moses and the elders. He kind of has this, he's made this relationship, this covenant bond. He gave them the law, how to live it out, right? The 10 commandments. He's given them all this stuff. Things seem to be going well. The people are becoming a nation now, just like God had promised Abraham. Now they have a nation. Moses is this great leader. They're out of slavery. They're in this beautiful relationship with God who's on the mountain. And then what do they start doing? They start worshiping the golden calf, and that is ruptured. It's like a second fall, right? Just like Adam and Eve fell in the garden. This is like a second fall. They've turned their backs completely on God. God wants to destroy him, right? That was one of your questions. God wanted to destroy him completely, but Moses pleads on their behalf, and God doesn't. God will continue, but now they have to have a lot more laws. So one of the things you're going to be seeing this week is a lot of talk about laws. There's going to be 613 laws. That's a lot of laws. Why? Because the issue of sin is not just at the surface level. It's at the very heart of who they are. 10 Commandments wasn't enough. 10 Commandments are very important. We still have the 10 Commandments today, but God needed to reach deeper into them and say, okay, now I need to regulate how you're going to pray, how you're going to worship, how you're going to eat, how you're going to sleep, how you're going to do this, that, and the other thing, right? That's where these different laws come in. It's not enough just say, live like I live with the 10 Commandments. Now we need to give them all these other laws to kind of get them and shape them into the people that are going to be saints, the people that are going to be children of God. So the issue of sin is still really deep, right? And so that's why he has to add all these laws. And now what we're going to be tracing in this mini unit, which is on the Wandering Years, is going to be their journey to the Promised Land. Okay, so Exodus ends. Remember, God says, okay, I'm not going to destroy you. You guys are scared of me up on the mountain. You think I'm going to destroy you. So I'll come down to you. Make an Ark of the Covenant, this beautiful golden box. Make a tabernacle, this big tent, and I will dwell there. God will dwell with his people again. What happens? Moses and some of the elders try to enter into the tabernacle at the very end of Exodus, and what happens? They can't enter. This is where the new laws come in, because still they need this, what's called the Levitical law, the Mosaic law, which comes from the book of Leviticus, is basically the priestly law. They need different ways to purify themselves. God says, no, you can't come in yet. What you guys did with the golden calf, Aaron and all the rest, except for Moses, what you guys did was such a big rupture to our relationship that we can't just continue as if things are the same. Okay, and so that's where we kind of pick up the story. So that's how Exodus ends. Make sure you guys look at your old assignments here. There's kind of like a mini lecture there on Exodus and the 10 Commandments. So I'll be looking at those summative assessments. Hopefully you guys did a good job kind of thinking about how you live the 10 Commandments yourself. Remember, these 10 Commandments are not just don't kill and don't tell lies. There's a lot of ways we can break these 10 Commandments, whether it's adultery. It's not just cheating on a spouse. It's also doing a lot of things with their body that aren't appropriate. So please make sure you guys are thinking about these 10 Commandments, examining your conscience. Remember, these things are not just things we learn in class. 10 Commandments are how we live our lives, how we examine our consciences, how we try to live as God lives and love like God loves. So the 10 Commandments are really important. So hopefully you guys did a good job on those assignments. All right, so let's go one last thing before I wrap up this video. Let's go to this week 2. So you can see week 2, I'm structuring things a little bit different to try and make them a little easier. Please use these folders. Don't just look at the assignments that are due on the bar of your Schoology. I know that's what you guys like to do, but actually come here to the folders. I think sometimes that's a better way to do it than just kind of trying to just go assignment by assignment, because what's happening if you're just doing the assignments, you're missing some resources, some videos, some clarification, some just deeper things that are going on in the folders if you guys are just trying to do the assignments as they come up here on your side. So please try to use these folders that the teachers, myself and others are putting together. Don't just try to race through the things on the side of your Schoology account. So as you can see, for each week now, I'm going to put 5 folders. Okay, so there's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And so some of these are not completely done yet. I'm still tinkering with things to get done for this week. But at the very least, Monday is all set. and you have one assignment for today. So sometimes you'll see 2 things, sometimes you'll see 3 things, some days are a little bit heavier. Today, it's just the one assignment, so it's really simple. So you just click on it. And so this is the Unit 3B, the Wandering Years. So like I said, they at Mount Sinai, and now they're traveling, which is going to take them 40 years to get to the Promised Land that God has had given to Abraham. It's going to take them 40 years, a journey that could have taken them 2 weeks. What does that tell us? Well, things are going to go really south, right? Sin is going to get really deep into the hearts of the Israelites. And we're going to ask ourselves this question: well, are the Israelites really free? Yeah, they're not slaves anymore, but are they really free? Okay, so something to think about. Again, it's kind of a deeper question than this, something you answer quickly, but are they really free? If they're still complaining, they want to go back to Egypt, they're still sinning all the time. Was it enough just to get them out of Egypt? Maybe there's a deeper thing that God needs to free them from. So keep that in mind as you watch in these videos and read these PowerPoints and these different things this week. So your assignment for today is pretty straightforward, guys. You're going to read the PowerPoint I put here, Mosaic Law, just slides 1 through 12. You're going to take at least 10 notes, or take down the bolded notes as you go. Then you're going to do the watch these 3 videos here. So there's a Bible Project videos. I know you guys like these videos. There's one on Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, these 3 major books of this section. Take 10 notes as you go, and you're going to take a picture of the notes. So your assignment today is just on this. Very simple. Nice, neat PowerPoint notes that are labeled, nice, neat Leviticus notes that are labeled, nice, neat Numbers notes that are labeled, and nice, neat Deuteronomy notes that are labeled. So you're going to have your PowerPoint notes and then 3 video notes. That's a total of like 40 or so notes. So it shouldn't just be like 1 page this much. That's not enough for this assignment. You really got to make sure. There might be multiple photos. That's fine. Make sure they all go onto this assignment, even if you have to submit multiple photos. So make sure your notes are detailed, neat, organized. You have the proper headings for each kind of slide and for each video, just so it's nice and neat, like you know how to do. Once you submit those, that's it for today. Okay. Like I said, this isn't really so much a lecture. This is more just kind of an overview video. I'm going to probably post 1 of these a week for the kind of some announcements. I'll probably do 1 or 2 lectures a week from now on. So I think on Wednesday I'm doing a lecture, and I might even sneak one in tomorrow. I might come back and go over some more instructions as the week. If there's an assignment that might need a little extra instructions, I'll make a short instruction video for that. I think that will be on Wednesday and Thursday. I might make little short videos just going over instructions, but for the most part, it's going to be a Monday kind of overview, checking what I'm doing today, and then maybe 1 or 2 lectures throughout the week to kind of, so it's not just you reading and writing and stuff, to break it up so I can kind of walk you through PowerPoints and stuff like that. I'm also going to be doing a Zoom office hour thing in the afternoon. I'm going to try to set that up. I'll let you guys know through Schoology and email, but I'll basically be doing maybe an hour on some afternoon. I'll pick a time. I'll send out the Zoom link, and it'll just be kind of time for you guys to have your questions. It's not going to be mandatory, but it's going to be like, hey, when you guys want to jump on this Zoom thing, let's talk about things before the assessment on Friday, okay? Oh, I'm confused about the law and freedom. I don't know what those mean. I'm confused about what happens in the book of Numbers and what happens to the Israelites. Okay, you might have some questions. This is your chance to do that. So again, don't hesitate to reach out to me by email, by Schoology, but also I'll be trying these Zoom things as well. I'm trying to get into the technology myself. So that's it for today's class. If you go back to week 2, you go back to the Monday fold or the other folders, you see that the other folders have assignments coming as well. So you have Real Story tomorrow. Wednesday, you have a couple of different things. I'll probably put an announcement for our video on Wednesday because it's a little bit more confusing, a little bit more parts. So I'll do that. But for now, I think that's enough. Go back to our remote education folder. Let's just do a quick recap. Remember, gentlemen, come to the prayer intentions. Put your prayer intentions. Look for other people's prayer intentions. Get involved. Try to pray for each other. Really support each other. Also, you got the online Bible here. Take advantage of that, whether it's for Lectio Divina, for prayer, for your own study, for the class. We're going to be needing the Bible from here on out. Make sure you reference this if you don't have your own personal Bible. It's right there. The prayer resources folder, please take a look at this. I'm going to move it to the top so it's even more clear for you to see where these things are. I'm going to add to it. Please take advantage of this time that we have during this Lent, during this quarantine, to pray. Treat it like you're a monk. You're a Catholic monk. Don't just sit around kind of playing video games when you have free time. Try to go deeper into your spiritual life. It's like going to the desert with Jesus himself. And then, gentlemen, of course, make sure you're doing your best on your assignments. You're completing things on time, fully details. You're using evidence from the readings, from the PowerPoints. You're trying to put together all this stuff. If you have questions, reach out to me. Don't hesitate. If you need an extension, don't hesitate to ask for one, and I might grant it. Just make sure we're staying on top of things. Don't just look at the little toolbar and look at the assignments, go to the folders, immerse yourself into the PowerPoints, into the videos that I post, into the different discussions that are going to be posted, because I want you guys to really make sure you're making sense of things. It's not just kind of skimming things to get there quickly. I want you to make sure we're going deeply into Moses and the Israelites' journey, into the 10 Commandments, going deeply, going into the Mosaic Law deeply, going into the wandering years deeply. So, gentlemen, I think that's enough for today. I'll go back to our remote education folder. So, gentlemen, keep up the good work. If you need to kind of step it up, step it up. We're just getting started. We're starting week 2. Please pray for each other. Pray for me. I'm praying for you. Make sure you add to those prayer intentions. Make sure you're doing your best work. Make sure you guys are reaching out with any questions. And have a wonderful day, gentlemen. I will see you guys all soon. Congratulations on making it to week 2. And then we'll see if I can end this video here. It's always a little bit harder to do. There we go. All right, gentlemen, take care. See you soon.